All right, get ready, because today we're going deep on something pretty unexpected, the world of carpet colors.
Interesting choice.
It's not as simple as it sounds, though, right?
Right. It's not just about finding a color you like. There's so much more to it.
Like what?
Well, there's a whole psychology behind it. Color can really impact a room.
It can.
Absolutely. And that's what we're diving into today, especially for homes here in Sydney and the Sutherland Shire.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
I've noticed a lot of trends just driving around the Shire.
Yeah.
So much variation.
Exactly.
I bet our friends at British Carpet Company can give us some insights.
Oh, for sure. BCC has been around since 1936.
Wow, they really know their stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, the owner, Wayne Edworthy, has been in the industry for over 40 years.
He has.
So
What?
he must have seen it all when it comes to carpet trends. All right, so where do we start with this deep dive? I'm keen to hear about color psychology, something the sources mention.
Yeah, that's fascinating stuff. And especially relevant here in Sydney, where space can be a premium.
I was just thinking that, like, how can we use color to make a room feel bigger, say in a small apartment?
You're spot on. That's where light colors come in.
Light colors, how so?
Well, think about it this way. Light colors reflect more light, making the walls seem further apart.
Oh, like a pale blue or a soft gray.
Exactly. They can make a room feel much more spacious and airy.
So it actually tricks the eye into thinking the room is bigger.
It's not just an illusion, it's about how color interacts with light.
Interesting. Now, what about darker colors? I love them, but they're not great for tiny rooms, right?
Right. Darker colors do the opposite. They absorb light.
Making the room feel smaller.
Yes, but they can also create a sense of intimacy.
Okay, so maybe good for a bedroom or a cozy living room.
Absolutely. They can be super luxurious, especially in rooms with lots of natural light.
Like those amazing homes overlooking the harbor.
Precisely. Picture a room bathed in natural light with a deep, rich carpet. It's very inviting.
It's all about finding the right color for the right space then.
Exactly. You wouldn't want a dark carpet in a tiny room with no windows. It'd feel like a dungeon.
True. Okay, let's talk trends. Sydney and the Shire have their own unique style, right? What's hot right now?
Well, being so close to the coast, coastal colors are always a hit.
Yeah, you see a lot of blues and greens around,
Yeah.
like the ocean and the trees.
Exactly. It brings that relaxed, beachy feeling right into your home.
Sandy beiges are popular too.
They are, especially in areas like Cronulla, mirroring those gorgeous beaches.
It's amazing how our environment influences our design choices.
It is, but as you move away from the coast, the preferences shift a bit.
Oh, how so?
Well, grays and charcoals are popular in more urban settings.
Yeah, they fit that sleek, modern aesthetic you see in a lot of Sydney apartments.
They do.
Yeah.
Now, the Shire itself has a unique blend of styles. Older homes, newer homes, it's all mixed in.
What kind of carpet colors do you see there?
The Shire tends to lean towards earthy colors.
Earthy colors.
Yeah, like browns and terracottas. They complement the landscape really well.
Makes sense. So we've covered the popular colors, but what about people who want to be a bit more daring? Do they usually just stick to neutrals?
Not at all. There's definitely room for bolder choices.
Oh, good.
Think about using vibrant colors like red or orange as accents. You don't have to carpet a whole room in a bright color.
A rug or a runner.
Exactly. Just a pop of personality.
I like that idea. Strategic use of color. What about pastels? I've seen those around too.
Pastels are a great option, especially for families.
Yeah, and a bit of warmth without being overwhelming.
Right. So it's not just about picking a color you like. It's about understanding how it affects the whole space. The mood, the feel, everything.
It's much more complex than I realized.
It is. But now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the practical side. Life in Sydney can be pretty hectic.
It can.
Our carpets need to be able to keep up.
Yeah. Spills, stains, muddy shoes, you name it.
Exactly. And let's not forget the pets and kids running around.
It's all part of the Sydney lifestyle.
When it comes to stain resistance, darker colors are generally more forgiving.
Yeah. Imagine a red wine spill on a cream carpet. Not a good look.
Definitely not. And for ease of maintenance, neutrals and carpets with patterns tend to do better.
Oh, that's a good tip. I never thought about patterns being better at hiding dirt.
They are. Now, another thing to consider is lighting. Natural light can make a big difference.
How so?
It enhances colors, especially lighter shades.
So a room with lots of natural light and a pale carpet would feel super bright and airy.
Exactly. But artificial light can actually change how colors look.
It can.
Warm lighting suits earthy tones better, while cool lighting enhances grays and blues.
Wow, who knew light bulbs could be so important?
It's all connected. The carpet, the lighting, the furniture, the walls, everything plays a part.
It's a whole design ecosystem.
You got it. And speaking of furniture and walls, let's talk about how your carpet color works with everything else.
Okay, how do we make sure everything flows nicely?
It's about harmony or contrast. The carpet should either blend in or create a deliberate contrast.
So if I have lots of bold colors and patterns in my furniture, I should probably choose a more neutral carpet.
That's a good rule of thumb. You don't want the carpet competing for attention.
But if you have a minimalist style, a patterned carpet could be a statement piece.
Exactly. It can add some visual interest. This is making you think about carpets differently, isn't it?
Totally. It's not just a floor covering, it's a design element.
And the British Carpet Company, with their experience and huge selection, can help you navigate it all.
I know they have a showroom in Tarrant Point, which is super convenient for people in the Shire. What do they offer there?
BCC is all about personalized service. They
Okay.
have a massive range of carpets, and you can even customize colors and patterns.
So they can help you find the perfect match no matter what your style is.
Absolutely. They take all the stress out of the process.
That's great. And can they help with the design side of things too?
Oh, definitely. Their experts can guide you through the whole color selection process. They'll make sure you choose a color that not only looks good with your decor, but also creates the right mood.
So I could walk in and say, I want my living room to feel like a cozy beach cottage.
Exactly. And they'd help you find the perfect carpet to achieve that. They're like carpet matchmakers. They might suggest a light blue with a textured weave, bringing in those coastal elements.
Sounds perfect for a Cronulla home.
Yeah.
And for a city apartment.
They might recommend a deep gray or charcoal with a plush texture. Adds a touch of luxury and sophistication.
Love it. And for a family home.
Something warm and practical. Maybe a beige or taupe with a subtle pattern that can handle some wear and tear.
Wow, it sounds like they've got it all covered.
They do. Now, before we wrap up this part, let's touch on something that's becoming more and more important, the environment.
Sustainability. Yeah, it's a big deal these days. What are some eco-friendly options when it comes to carpets?
A lot of carpets now use eco-friendly dyes.
So less impact on the environment.
Exactly. And the longevity of a carpet plays a role too.
How so?
Well, choosing a color you'll love for years to come means you won't need to replace your carpet as often.
Which is good for the planet and our wallets.
Absolutely. We've covered a lot in this first part. Color psychology, lighting, trends, practicality, and even eco-friendly options.
It's been fascinating. I never realized choosing the right carpet was such a big decision.
It can really transform your home. Now, before we move on to part 2, we want you to think about your own home.
What kind of mood do you want to create? What colors appeal to you? What practical needs do you have? We'll be back soon to explore even more about carpet design, like texture and pattern.
So stay tuned. We'll help you create the perfect carpet story for your home.
See you soon.
Welcome back to our deep dive.
We've been talking all about color, but now it's time to get a feel for something else.
Texture.
Yes. It's just as important as color, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It plays a huge role in setting the mood of a room. I mean, think about how different a room can feel based on the texture underfoot.
It's true. Just like color, there are so many options.
There are, and our sources emphasize that you can't just consider how a carpet looks.
You have to think about how it feels, too.
Exactly. That tactile experience is so important.
I completely agree. Imagine walking into your bedroom and sinking your toes into a thick, plush carpet.
Oh, yeah.
It just screams comfort and luxury.
Like walking on a cloud, perfect for those chilly Sydney mornings.
Now compare that to a low-pile carpet.
Sleek, modern.
And so practical.
Right. Especially for high traffic areas. Think hallways or living room.
Where you might be entertaining guests. Plus, they're easier to keep clean, which is always a bonus.
Always. Busy households, you know how it is.
Speaking of practicality, our sources mention Berber and loop-style carpets.
Yes, incredibly durable and easy to maintain.
Those are great for families, right? Especially with kids and pets running around.
Absolutely. They can handle a bit of rough and tumble without showing every mark. Now, if we're going for that laid-back coastal vibe, what kind of textures come to mind?
Natural fibers.
Yes.
Those textured weaves that look like sisal or jute. Or even a chunky wool carpet.
They bring a real warmth and character, perfect for those beach houses or creating that coastal feel in any home, really.
Very Cronulla.
They work beautifully in both modern and traditional settings.
What about for a more contemporary aesthetic? Any texture trends stand out there?
Plush. velvety textures,
Oh, yeah. They're having a moment right now.
creating that sense of luxury and indulgence,
Perfect for a bedroom or a formal living room.
where you want to make a statement.
Now, I've also seen people mixing and matching textures.
Oh, absolutely. Combining textures adds visual interest, like layering a plush rug over a low-pile carpet, or
Oh,
having a textured runner in a hallway.
creating those contrasts is that layered look.
It's all about adding personality and depth to your home.
Speaking of personality, before we jump into patterns, let's talk about the hand of a carpet.
The hand, what's that?
It's basically how the carpet feels when you touch it.
Oh, interesting. The softness, the density, the overall feel. Exactly. And just like texture, the hand can really impact a room's atmosphere.
Makes sense. A carpet with a soft, luxurious hand would make a space feel more comfortable, more inviting.
Right. Well, something rougher, more textured, might create a more casual, rustic vibe.
So many factors to consider.
It's true. But that's what makes carpets so interesting. It's about those details that make a difference. Now, are you ready for patterns?
I think so. Patterns can really make a statement, can't they?
They can. They add so much personality and character. Our sources highlight that they can range from really subtle to incredibly bold.
It's about finding what works for you in the space. Right.
Exactly. If you prefer a more minimalist look, a subtle pattern might be better.
Like a tone-on-tone design.
Yes. Or a geometric motif. Just enough to add interest without being overwhelming.
But if you want to make a statement, then you go bold.
Exactly. Large-scale florals, intricate geometrics, even abstract designs.
They can really transform a room.
They can also help define areas, which is great in open-plan spaces.
Oh, like using a patterned rug to separate the living area from the dining space.
Exactly. Now, one thing to keep in mind with patterns is the size of the room.
Yeah, a big, bold pattern could overwhelm a small space.
It could. So in smaller rooms, maybe stick with smaller scale patterns or a rug instead of a full carpet.
But in a larger room, you have more freedom.
You can go bolder with your choices. And this goes back to what we discussed earlier, the importance of thinking about your existing decor.
Right. The pattern should complement your furniture and style.
If your furniture has lots of bold colors and patterns, a simpler carpet pattern is probably best.
But if your furniture is neutral, a bolder carpet can liven things up.
You got it. It's about creating that balance, that cohesive look. Now let's talk about some of the specific patterns that are trending here in Sydney. Being near the coast, nautical-inspired patterns are always popular.
Stripes, anchors, anything that reminds us of the sea.
They're classic, perfect for a beach house or even just adding a touch of that coastal vibe.
And what about for those who prefer a modern look?
Geometric patterns.
They're everywhere.
They add structure and visual interest,
Chevrons, herringbone, all those geometric shapes.
and they can be scaled to suit the size of the room. Now, I've also noticed a trend towards floral patterns, but with a more modern take.
More abstract.
Yeah. Instead of those traditional busy florals, we're seeing more stylized designs.
Softer, less overwhelming.
And they work beautifully in bedrooms or living areas, creating that relaxed and inviting feel. Speaking of beautiful spaces, I have to mention something special about BCC.
Their custom carpet service.
You know it. You can design your own unique pattern.
That's so cool.
They have a team of amazing designers who can bring your vision to life.
So if you can dream it, they can weave it.
Pretty much. It's really incredible. It just shows their dedication to craftsmanship and artistry. As we wrap up this section, I think it's clear that texture and pattern are just as important as color.
They add depth, they add dimension, and they let you express your own unique style.
With so many options out there, there's truly a perfect carpet for everyone.
Now, in our final segment, we'll look at the more practical aspects of choosing and caring for your carpet.
Durability, stain resistance, all those essential maintenance tips to keep your carpet looking its best.
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive. We've covered colors, textures, all the fun stuff. But now it's time to get down to business.
The practical stuff.
Exactly. Making sure our carpets can actually handle life here in Sydney. Durability, stain resistance, all those important things.
You got it. Making sure your carpet looks its best for years to come.
So let's start with durability. What makes a carpet tough enough for, say, a busy family home?
Well, fiber is key. Natural fibers like wool are known for being super resilient.
I've always heard wool carpets can last for ages.
They can. Wool is naturally springy, so it bounces back from foot traffic, holds its shape really well.
That's good to know. But what about synthetic options? Are any of those durable too?
Oh, absolutely. Nylon is a popular one. Really strong and wear resistant.
And I've heard nylon is good at resisting fading too.
It is. Another good one is polypropylene. It's great for areas where spills might happen.
Oh, so like a playroom or a kitchen.
Exactly. Or even outdoors. Now, it's not just about the fiber itself. How the carpet is made also matters.
How so?
The construction. A dense, tightly woven carpet will be much more durable.
It makes sense. The tighter the weave, the less likely it is to unravel or wear down.
Exactly. And that's where a company like BCC really stands out. They use high-quality materials and techniques, so their carpets are made to last.
You're really getting your money's worth then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to stain resistance, because let's face it, accidents happen.
Spills are inevitable, especially with kids and pets around.
Yeah.
Red wine, muddy paws, the list goes on.
That's why choosing a stain-resistant carpet is so important. Thankfully, a lot of carpets these days come with built-in protection.
Oh, that's good news. How does that work?
Manufacturers apply special treatments to the fibers.
To repel stains.
Exactly. It's like an invisible shield protecting your carpet.
That's a relief. And what about carpet pads? I know they're important, but I'm not exactly sure why.
Carpet pads are great for cushioning and comfort, but they also help with spills.
They do.
Yeah, they act as a barrier to stop liquids from reaching the subfloor.
So they can actually extend the life of the carpet.
Absolutely. And a good quality pad makes a big difference.
Makes sense. So BCC can help with that too.
Oh, definitely. They can help you choose the right pad for your needs.
Okay, great. Now, even with the most durable, stain-resistant carpet, I'm sure some maintenance is still required.
You're absolutely right. Regular care is essential.
What are the key things we should be doing
Well, the most important thing is to vacuum regularly.
to get rid of all the dust and dirt?
Exactly. At least once a week, maybe more in high-traffic areas. And when a spill does happen, act fast. Blot it with a clean cloth working from the outside in.
No rubbing, right?
Right. Blotting is much better. And for those stubborn stains, you might need a carpet cleaning product. Just test it in an inconspicuous spot first.
Always a good idea. Now, what about professional cleaning? Is that something we should be doing regularly?
It's not essential all the time, but it's a good idea every now and then.
For a deep clean?
Exactly. They can really make your carpets look and smell fresh.
Before we wrap up, let's touch on sustainability again.
Yes, it's so crucial.
What are some good options for eco-conscious homeowners?
Well, natural fibers like wool are a great choice. They're renewable and biodegradable.
And what about those carpets made from recycled materials? I've heard about those.
They're becoming more popular. Some companies use recycled plastic to create really stylish carpets.
That's amazing. So you can have a beautiful carpet that's also good for the environment.
Absolutely. And a lot of manufacturers are working on reducing their impact during production too.
Using less water and energy.
Exactly. So it's good to support companies that are making those efforts.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have. From the psychology of color to the nitty-gritty of stain removal, it's clear that choosing a carpet is a bigger decision than it seems. It really is. But hopefully this deep dive has armed you with all the information you need. And don't forget, the British Carpet Company is an amazing resource.
The experts.
They really are. They have a showroom in Tarrant Point, open Monday to Thursday and Saturdays.
10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always make an appointment for other times.
Who convenient.
It is. Why not pop in and have a chat with Wayne and his team?
They're passionate about carpets and love helping people find the perfect one.
Remember, a carpet is an investment.
It is.
Choose wisely, care for it well, and it will bring you years of comfort and style.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive
We'll see you next time.
for another fascinating exploration.